There's something about watching our uncles, or at least men shaped like our uncles, being called puppies with assless chaps, that feels more like how it's gonna break down. All right, everyone, today I found a list on Looper called the top 95 post-apocalypse movies of all time. I found this list insane. And with Mad Max Fury Road coming in number 2 on the list, we thought this would be a fun time to talk about Mad Max Fury Road versus the best Mad Max movie, The Road Warrior. Looper, you got it wrong.
The editors and writers of Looper.com do not endorse or condone this video. In fact, they're very annoyed by it. The video producers of the Looper YouTube channel, however, hope you enjoy.
All right, so here's just a pro tip, right? If you were creating a best of movie list and you find yourself adding The Happening, don't add any more, right? This list could have stopped at 93 and saved us 2 spots. Even worse is A Quiet Place with the most hearing selective monsters ever. I don't know who out there is a father like me. If you've sat in on a birth, it's a noisy, disgusting affair. The real takeaway from A Quiet Place is if you're about to be in the post-apocalypse, the first stop is not a place where your kid can get toys, but a place where you can get condoms. That's the rule. Now, the list went and gave itself film school armor, right? By taking Tarkovsky's Stalker as number 1. Me and the 50 other people who have seen it loved our experience. But let's pretend that we stop the list with a movie that everyone has probably actually seen, Mad Max Fury Road. I have no problem with Mad Max Fury Road being a top 5 best post-apocalypse movie of all time. I do have a problem with it being rated higher than Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, the truly best Mad Max movie we've ever gotten.
Save it. I'm just here for the gasoline.
Fury Road is a wonderful trip through the Mad Max universe. Just pedal to the metal. It has a chaos and an energy that Fred Durst pleasures himself to, right? It's a wild, exotic ride. I would argue where The Road Warrior excels over Fury Road is the pace. There is something staggering about watching Max have to get out of the interceptor and walk places. An integral part of every great post-apocalypse movie is being forced to watch images of things that we recognize and things that we love that are only there now as remnants or these kind of inverted gross meanings. And when we get to Fury Road, it does very little with the times that they actually stop. It actually feels like they are literally just refueling the movie to then shoot us back out of the cannon. To me, that is a less interesting journey. There's never a point when I'm watching Fury Road where I ever truly care where they're driving to or why. At one point, I thought the tanker truck was actually full of breast milk. I spent 10 minutes in the theater wondering how many boobs does it take to fill up a tanker truck? And then they go, oh, it's gasoline. And I was like, well, that makes sense, but you led me here. When you watch The Road Warrior, it does not feel like Max is coming out of there. That feels like a suicide mission. Even as Fury Road dominates it, objectively dominates it, on all these checklists of production and value and money and budget, whatever, the journey of The Road Warrior is infinitely more interesting and captivating and fulfilling to me.
And the Road Warrior, that was the last we ever saw of him.
Even in villain, right? Immortan Joe versus Lord Humongous. That seems like something you'd pay $20 to go watch at a backyard wrestling match. I'd watch that. They're both kind of like masked 2-dimensional alpha male problems. But Lord Humongous, he's got this very eloquent way that he speaks. This mountain of muscle with this kind of remnant Jason Voorhees hair and a hockey mask. He has some kind of weird dog society rules with his mates, right? He calls them his puppies unless they do good. When I watched Lord Humongous, though, I was like, yeah, I might get spanked and ride with this train. He could pet me and call me a nice puppy and put me to bed. I think I'm riding Lord Humongous. Whereas Immortan Joe becomes essentially this giant pro wrestling juggalo, right? With all these little fueled up Fago monsters that are all kind of white and huffing, paint.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
I'll raise you one more for The Road Warrior 2. Wes, our Vernon Wells with the Rufio haircut, he's better than Immortan Joe too, and he's the sidekick. From the moment the feral kid plants the boomerang in his beautiful companion's face, we see that man die. We see real, true pain and misery on the great Vernon Wells' face, right? Wes has more of an arc. And I know what you're saying. Immortan Joe saw loss, right? We watched a horrendous scene. Do you feel like in that moment you saw Immortan Joe emote? Or did it give you flashbacks to Anakin Skywalker? No! That's how I felt. But I think the top 2 villains in The Road Warrior give us more of a connectable and fun experience than Immortan Joe.
I promise you, nobody gets out of here alive.
I love a lot of Mel Gibson movies, only the movies. Tom Hardy's a better actor. I think what you'd say though is that Tom Hardy is not given the material in that movie to be much more than a maniac hood ornament. Max is just not doing much in the movie. Whereas the myth of the narrator telling us the time he met the Road Warrior, I think that's a wonderful place to start, right? It's this beautiful touch on, I met this crazy guy named Mad Max in these horrifying scenarios. It allows us to see how myths and new religions are taking form. We hear Lord Humongous preaching. We hear the people talking about the green valleys to the north. I love watching Mad Max in this kind of primordial soup of new ideals and religions forming. It lets Max become this larger-than-life cinematic figure. We see that he's got the wherewithal to poorly take care of a dog. Does he eat all his dog food in front of him? Yes, but that hints at a deeper and more complicated relationship. Whereas Tom Hardy, the thing is that we are shown that Max is haunted, we are shown that he's in pain, but we are shown that through this almost 9 Inch Nails meets Speed Racer kind of a world where it's hard to actually sit and feel anything that Max feels. Even when he's confronted with his first drink of breast milk, I don't know what he's thinking. I know what I would be thinking. Yum, this is better than sand and dust and gas. So Mad Max was never really the emotional core of those movies past part 1 if you go back and watch them, right? Being able to take Furiosa and just invent another Max to step in and take the wheel is a wonderful journey. Fury Road did a strategically brilliant job and cast the perfect actress, and maybe have cast 2 perfect actresses, to take this moniker back, right? To capture the ideals and themes of what Mad Max, and more, broadly, the Road Warrior is. And hopefully with the new Mad Max saga movie coming out, Furiosa, we'll get the chance to give her those support structures that Max has. I think Furiosa does not have that yet. Hopefully she will very soon. That's it, Looper. I have no problem with Mad Max Fury Road being a top 5 post-apocalypse movie. I have a huge problem with it being higher than Mad Max 2 The Road Warrior, the true best Mad Max movie, until possibly Furiosa hits theaters this summer. We'll see. I'm sorry, Looper, you got this one wrong. Do better.